Now, given our discussion of the substitution of tillage in the wage system in ancient China, we wonder how do we actually operate the substitution system to set wages? If you remember, this is the question that we raised in lecture 14 quite a while ago, and now we're going to examine it in this section. Okay. So, by the way, these separate lectures are in fact all related, and there's a logical sequence between them. Okay. Now, recall that farming is the type of job that doesn't require wage, okay, because this guy can just work on his own farm and feed off his own produce. So under the substitution system, every wage is set against farming output. So the farming output forms the baseline of wages. That's the basic setting. Now, even among professional farmers themselves, the quantity of output is also different. And this is potentially caused by, different farming skills, the quality of the land, or the quality of farming facilities. In ancient China, farmer productivity is generally divided into 5 grades based on the quality of their output, where the quality is measured by the number of persons supported by the output from 100 acres of farmland. Okay, so it's a very interesting measurement. Now, this is recorded in the chapter of rural regulation in the Book of Rights. So, with the agricultural output produced on 100 acres farmland, the least productive farmer can only support 5 persons. A slightly better farmer can produce 6 persons, and this number adds up all the way to 9 for the best performing farmers. Okay, so if the farmer is really good, then he can support 9 persons from the produce out of this 100 acres farmland. So, as you can see, in measuring the productivity of farmers, the ancient Chinese adopted what is called the real wage system. Okay, and also that there's a word for it in modern economics. Okay, the real wage system. So the produce of farmers is not measured in monetary terms because the value of money can apparently change through time, and that would make it difficult to track what it means to the consumers. Right? What do you mean by £100 or £200 is different through time. And it is also not measured in terms of the quantity of goods, such as bushel or kilograms of wheat. It is measured on the number of end users, okay, presumably adults. I think this is an interesting and clever way of measurement because even if the standard of living affects the rise and fall of wages, it cannot affect the scale itself, right? The scale itself. If the standard of living is higher, the wages are higher. Otherwise, it becomes lower. But in either case, the lowest wage in the scale must be sufficient to support 5 persons. Now, this measurement of farming output gives rise to the concept of what is called the minimum wage. Interestingly, the Irish-French economist Richard Cantillon suggests that the poorest common laborers must earn at least double their own maintenance in order that one with another they may be enabled to bring up 2 children. So in Cantillon's definition, the minimum wage must be high enough to support 2 persons, whereas Mensch's and Confucius' definition of minimum wage directly points to the number of persons supported, and that number is 5.